Today for robbing Bahama Bucks on Kemp, how he attempted the robbery and got caught. Coming up.
I'm Ann Arnold. City Council met today. We'll tell you what they did and what they changed coming up.
And the Oklahoma Department of Human Services is working to keep your children safe while in daycare. Today, new rules and regulations are in place. Those stories, plus weather and sports.
Channel 6 News at 6 starts right now.
Live from Texoma's news station, this is KAUZ Channel 6 News at 6.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Chris Horgan.
And I'm Lindsay Hunt. Oklahoma wants parents to know their children are safe while in daycare.
Yeah, and tonight's top story, it's, well, Oklahoma daycare. Their centers have 60 days to comply with new rules that were passed today. Under the regulations, centers must make inspection reports and other records available for parents to read. They also must notify the they also must post notices at the main entrances to let parents know that the records are there, and if the Department of Human Services confirms abuse or neglect in any center, owners must post the investigation summary for 120 days. DHS passed the regulations in response to the death of a 2-year-old at a Tulsa daycare center earlier this year.
A Wichita Falls store robbed by a man with a BB gun, but he didn't get far. The robbery happened at Bahama Bucks on Kemp just before 10 last night. Police say they caught up with the suspect, 19-year-old Barry Kenneth Brown Jr. shortly after. They found him in a nearby alley with $400 cash, the BB gun, and a machete in his car. He's charged with aggravated robbery, bond set at $100,000.
The Wichita Falls Police Department and the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives are being praised for their work. Both helped put 2 convicted felons behind bars. They caught the men with guns this summer. It's illegal for convicted felons to have firearms. The men were quickly prosecuted for their offenses under the Project Safe Neighborhood initiative. Looking ahead, we're waiting to see if tomorrow night's scheduled execution will go as planned. Alberto Chi is set to die by lethal injection for shooting an Arlington man to death during a 2001 robbery. An execution last week in Texas was blocked by the U.S. Supreme Court as they'll hear a case against lethal injection in January. 2 Kentucky prisoners on death row say the practice is cruel and unusual punishment. Chi's lawyers are trying to get the high court to block his execution.
It's time for our first look at weather with Chief Forecaster John Cameron. And John, storms on the radar this afternoon.
Yeah, we're watching some storms on live radar. There's a chance some of these storms could be strong. Let's check these out. This is First National Bank of Wichita Falls, Doppler 6000 live. We've seen some new developments since 5:30 when we last showed you the radar. The one that really stands out here is over the Wichita Mountains Wildlife Refuge. This storm has quickly grown. It's not producing frequent lightning, but it is producing some heavy rain and moving to the east at about 15 miles per hour. So certainly we'll have to watch that. That is the probably the heaviest rain in the new Channel 6 viewing area. We have some new developments near Granfield and to the north of Altus. And across North Texas, we've been watching some storms to the south of Haskell. Those are not technically in the Channel 6 viewing area, but certainly worth watching. Once again, we're going to be on the lookout for some strong storms tonight. We've already had a severe thunderstorm watch issued for northern Oklahoma. Coming up, we'll talk more about the risk for severe weather tonight, what's in store for tomorrow. That's real soon.
John, thank you. Volunteers across the U.S. are in Wichita Falls helping local flood victims.
Yeah, if you were affected by the summer flooding, the Wichita Falls Area Long-Term Disaster Committee has set up shop at the East Branch YMCA located at 302 Tulsa. Organizers say they'll assist families and connect them with available resources as long as it's needed.
And so that's our purpose in being here, to talk with people, to interview them, and find out what they still need to be able to recover from the flood.
Residents can simply walk in until 8 p.m. tonight or tomorrow from 9 a.m. until 4 p.m. No documents are necessary, but please bring your FEMA number if you have one. Volunteers will also go door to door in the East Side neighborhood. For more information, you can call 766-4231.
Wichita Falls City Councilors approved a $100,000 flood assistance program this morning. The money is to help FEMA-approved flood victims move out of floodplains. The city will give those residents $10,000 down toward a new home, I should say. Here's the catch, though. You must be able to make the mortgage payments, and the home must be within city limits.
Wichita Falls wants to do its part to make Wichita Falls look better. This morning, councilors agreed to give 3 businesses money for renovations. Ann Arnold is live at the Backdoor Theater with more.
3 local businesses are remodeling, and the city's going to help fund those projects just like they are here at the Backdoor Theater. Each of those buildings gets 10% of the total cost for the work. Big Mix Auto Detail on Scott is getting $8,500 for fencing and electrical work. The Uniform Shop is getting $1,200 to finish some outdoor siding. The Backdoor Theater is getting the most money at $24,000. Right now it's undergoing an extensive remodeling campaign. We're told the primary goal is to make the theater wheelchair accessible.
The use of tax increment financing funds is really to leverage development, and all three of these are doing that. So these are things that will make a difference in the vitality of the downtown.
Now each of these projects must be underway within a year to get the funding, but since the Backdoor Theater is a non-profit organization, they may get a little leeway on that. Ann Arnold, Channel 6 News.
And thank you. Well, the city also wants to help better protect you. Councilors approved giving the Wichita Falls Fire Department $65,000 to help buy a new $300,000 hazmat rescue truck. A grant from FEMA will pick up the other $235,000. Fire officials say it should take about a year to get the custom-made truck.
An historic flight took place at Shepherd Air Force Base this afternoon. The 80th Flying Training Wing flew a 4-ship T-37 formation. What's cool about the flight? Well, each 2-seat training jet had a pair of pilots in the plane. All told, the 8 pilots have a total of over 26,000 flying hours among them. The base considers this a significant accomplishment.
It's very unique to have over 3,000 hours in this airplane. Of 141 instructors here at the Shepherd, at the base, there are only 11 that have over 3,000 hours.
Shepherd is the last Air Force base to phase out the T-37 in favor of the T-6 Texan. Next year, the base begins the phase-out. New tonight, the Pentagon is confirming the death of a Texas soldier in Iraq. The 24-year-old Sergeant Randall Olguin of South Plains died on Sunday after being attacked by insurgents. Officials aren't giving any other details. Meanwhile, congressional Democrats say they won't approve the president's supplemental funding request for the war in Iraq unless he starts bringing home troops by January of 2009. Democrats are also proposing a new income tax to offset the costs of the war.
We need to stop pretending that this war doesn't cost anything. The war will cost future generations billions of dollars in taxes that we're shoving off on them, and it will cost them because it is devouring money that could be used to expand their educational opportunities, expand their job opportunities, attack our long-term energy problems, and build stronger communities.
The plan is to add an extra 2% tax to low and middle income taxpayers and 12 to 15% to the wealthy. Democrats say it will be an uphill battle to get approval, but if passed, it would raise $150 billion a year.
Stores are working hard to get recalled beef off shelves. The Tops Meat Company is recalling 21.7 million pounds of beef from stores nationwide. It affects all Tops products with a sell-by date between September 25th of this year and September 25th of next year. The company had to recall the products after finding E. coli contamination. Some people have gotten sick.
I was infuriated because it could have prevented my daughter from being this ill if they had taken action immediately then instead of dragging their feet.
Which brings us to today's KAUZ.com poll question. In view of all the recent food recalls, is our food supply safe? Log on to KAUZ.com to vote. We'll have the results tonight on 10 Minutes of Nonstop News.
The bulls retreat on Wall Street one day after the market's record rally. I'm Alexis Christoforous. I'll have that story coming up.
Plus, a vehicle dangles from the side of a bridge, the common inconvenience that sent the driver over the edge.
And Andy Austin introduces us to the fourth and final candidate for the MSU Athletics Director's position a little later in sports.
Lori.
Welcome back. A retired couple is okay after their four-wheel drive vehicle crashed over a bridge.
This happened in Australia yesterday. Brian Field says they were riding along when a section of bumpy road made him lose control of his vehicle. It flipped, dangling the couple over a creek.
Brian was able to easily climb to safety, but his wife Rosalind was trapped inside. A large beam that could have actually killed her saved her life.
Came through the windscreen and stopped about 30 centimetres before my body. But that is what saved us. It impaled the cruiser and it held on to the cruiser, but that is actually what saved me, that I thought was going to kill me.
Paramedics had to cut the roof of the car to get Rosalind out. Neither she or her husband were physically hurt.
The Bears took the lead on Wall Street a day after the Dow clocked its first record close since July. Alexis Christoforous reports.
A day after the market's record rally. More troubling news from the battered housing sector had investors giving back some of Monday's big gains. The National Association of Realtors said the number of homes under contract in August fell to a record low as mortgage lenders shut off the financing needed to close deals.
Because of the weakness in the housing situation, as well as the elevated possibility of recession heading into 2008, that the Fed probably will cut interest rates at least this month and possibly again in December.
That's what Wall Street is banking on. Stocks have been riding high ever since the Fed last slashed rates on September 18th. Since then, the Dow has rallied more than 600 points. Former Fed Chairman Alan Greenspan added more fuel to the rally Monday when he declared there are some early signs that the credit crisis is easing. That drove the Dow back over the 14,000 mark for the first time since July. And economists expect more good things ahead for the stock market.
Overall, for the full year, we would expect to see a 10% appreciation.
There are still plenty of wild cards between now and the end of the year, including earnings reports and 2 more Fed meetings. But for now, the bulls are waiting in the wings. Alexis Christoforous, CBS News, the New York Stock Exchange.
We're talking about records on Wall Street. Today's record high, 102, still a ways off, but still hot, John.
Still hot. There's a cold front over Oklahoma. It's headed our way. I wish I could tell you it's doing away with the summer heat. That's not the case. Could be a rainmaker, though. More on that next.
You buy Nissan of Wichita Falls, your Nissan, your way.
Live Doppler 6000 is brought to you by First National Bank of Wichita Falls. Now, Chief Forecaster John Cameron and your Storm Team 6 True View forecast.
Welcome back, everybody. Storms on the radar, but no cool air with those storms.
No, unfortunately. Maybe some rain-cooled air if you're very near a thunderstorm. The good news is we don't have any severe thunderstorm watches. We don't have any warnings just yet. Can't rule it out until later tonight, though. Let's check out things. Now, we're actually seeing thunderstorms develop at a distance with First National Bank of Wichita Falls Skycam 6. These storms you're seeing there at the distance are actually north of the Red River. It's, wow, 92 degrees, heat index of 95, so we're warm and muggy. Winds have become a little bit more southerly, which favors more fuel in the area for some thunderstorms. Let's check live radar. This is First National Bank of Wichita Falls, Doppler 6000. Actually, our eyes are drawn to this thunderstorm. Starting to gain a little bit of strength near Mears and Medicine Park. Thank goodness you can enjoy that Mears cheeseburger inside. This storm drifting to the east about 10 to 15 miles per hour. Once again, we don't have any watches in place. We don't have any warnings, but as a front pushes southward over the next 5, 6, 7 hours and takes advantage of the abundant moisture in place, it could cause some of these storms to be rather strong. Let's look at North Texas real quick. We've been watching the storm to the south of Haskell. It looked like it was trying to move northeasterly, but now a little bit more easterly, if not southeasterly, over the last 3 hours. Otherwise, North Texas is pretty quiet. To the north, we see the storms moving in from the south and the east, and we see our storm over the Wichita Mountains. We see our cold front here. This is its current location, and it's moving very slowly. We're talking perhaps 1 county per hour at the fastest. So it's not going to make any sudden moves on Wichita Falls and Lawton. We see the winds turning to the northwest behind the front, gusty out of the south ahead of the front, and hot. 90 degrees now in Seymour, 87 in Graham. You probably have a heat index of 90, 88 now in Lawton, 83 in Clinton, even behind the front. It's not terribly cool. 79 now at Amarillo, 87. Abilene, the front will continue to push our way very slowly, probably be right on our doorstep in Wichita Falls, just either side of midnight, continuing to kick up some showers and thunderstorms. Now, Raincast says that by tomorrow afternoon, we'll see clearing skies. I haven't completely bought that forecast just yet. Let's look more locally, county by county. As the front moves through, we could see a few strong storms. Some of these storms could be capable of producing some 60, 70 mile per hour winds, perhaps hail up to the size of pennies. And once again, Raincast continues to suggest once we get into the afternoon, skies will be clearing. I have a feeling, though, that this front is going to put on the brakes across portions of North Texas, and that means we could see the redevelopment of some storms in the afternoon for Monday, Graham, and Bowie. So I'm not completely in love with this forecast for Raincast. Maybe Raincast will prove me wrong. We'll see. All right, on the 7-day forecast, We'll hang on to slight rain chances into tomorrow and perhaps even into Thursday. And then we'll watch for a front to move in for the weekend. But unfortunately, I've had to retract my little threat of a cool snap as we get into Sunday and Monday into Columbus Day. I've still got the temperatures trending downward, but not as cool as what we were seeing yesterday. Unfortunately, we're not going to get rid of this summertime heat over the next few days. And rain chances are slight, probably from tomorrow afternoon on. So we're going to be scanning the skies live with Doppler radar this afternoon. First National Bank of Wichita Falls, Doppler 6000. And if these storms go strong or severe, we'll let you know right away.
You'll be watching it for us.
We'll take it. Thanks so much, John. Here's a look at what we're working on for you for 10 o'clock.
They're called gypsy pavers, and they usually target senior citizens in rural areas. They promise to pave driveways for a price that can't be beat. The only problem is it's a scam. We'll share one victim's story and also give you a warning from the Better Business Bureau. It's tonight on 10 Minutes of Nonstop News. Michaela Lachiga, Channel 6 News.
Straight ahead, the dramatic finish to last night's baseball breaker.
And we'll meet the fourth candidate trying to become the lead Mustang next in sports.
Listen to News Channel 6 news and weather updates on Real Rock Radio 106.3 The Buzz.
Online at papajohns.com.
Now, KAUZ Channel 6 Sports with Andy Austin.
Jamie Carroll, the batter. To right field. Giles is there to make the catch. Tagging is Holiday. The throw to the plate. He is safe.
Finally, I didn't think he was ever going to make the call. That's Colorado's Matt Holliday scoring the winning run in the bottom of the 13th in the Rockies' 9-8 win over San Diego to claim the wild card spot in the National League playoffs. Colorado has won 14 of their last 15 games, and they head into their National League Division Series with Philadelphia with a ton of momentum. Hello, everyone. The fourth and final candidate vying to become the new athletics director at Midwestern State University visited campus today. Andy Carter is currently the AD at Newberry College in Newberry, South Carolina, and he believes a comprehensive strategic plan is the basis for running an athletic department.
Successful. The fact that football has the biggest budget is a offset of reality, not that they're more important than anybody else, but the tennis coach, the golf coach, they need to know that they're having the same opportunity to compete at that high level, and I think that's what the strategic plan does.
He also believes that fundraising is a grassroots effort.
You have to find those people that have an affinity for a project you're working on and tie their heartstrings so that you can get to the purse strings. And I mean, that seems simplistic. It's a lot harder than that, but that's what we've done at Newberry.
Now, the four candidates for the job, Charlie Carr, David Williams, Rosie Stallman, and Andrew Carter, have all visited Wichita Falls. All that's left to be done is for President Jesse Rogers to make his decision. Now, there probably won't be a decision announced tomorrow because Dr. Rogers will be in Austin taking care of some other business. The hope is there will be a decision before the week is out, and of course, we'll let you know who it is. The MSU football team has moved up a little bit in the rankings that we track each week. The Mustangs moved up a spot to 11th in the Football Gazette poll. They held steady at 11 in the collegesportsreport.com poll. They moved up a spot to 12th in the American Football Coaches Association poll and are 12th in the D2football.com poll. A team that is ranked ahead of the Mustangs in all four of these polls, West Texas A&M, will be in Wichita Falls Saturday night for a big Lone Star Conference South Division game. We will begin our build-up to that showdown Thursday night at 6 o'clock. Well, a sad note from the MSU football program. Jerome Taylor, who was a starter in the offensive line for MSU's 2004 national playoff team, died Saturday after a long bout with leukemia. The team is hosting a memorial service for Taylor tonight at 7 o'clock in the Aiken Auditorium. Now to high school tennis we go. Ryder High School playing Denison. That match is, we can update that for you. Ryder leading it by a score of 15-0. They're up 15-0. They will go to 5-0 in district play, 13-2 overall. Wichita Falls High School is playing host to Denton. We do not have an update on that one. And finally, we're also getting ready to cover a busy day or busy night of high school volleyball. Here's what the 6 city teams are doing tonight. City View is hosting Red Hot Henrietta. Hershey is at Iowa Park. Notre Dame is playing at Monday. Ryder is in Denton to play Ryan High School. Wichita Christian School is in Denton to play Selwyn School. And Wichita Falls High School is at home to play Denison. Action and scores from these matches and a whole lot more tonight at 10 o'clock.
All right, so that was the fourth and final MSU Athletic Director finalist. When do they expect to make a decision?
Like I said, Dr. Rogers is out of town tomorrow, so probably nothing tomorrow, but they hope to have something by Friday at the latest.
And you'll be the first with it, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Thank you, Andy.
We'll be right back.
Time is running out. Our inventory.
Viper Max 6 reveals heavy rain and lightning strikes near Mears and Lake Ellsworth to the north of Lawton. That storm is moving to the east. Also some showers, perhaps some heavy rain around Vernon. Everything you see here moving to the east. Once again, no warnings or watches are in place, but that's something we will watch through the night. The rain expected for the most part to move south of Wichita Falls by sunrise tomorrow. Can't rule out a stray storm tomorrow afternoon. Temperatures, unfortunately, are back to the upper 80s.
Neiman Marcus shoppers can start getting their Christmas list together. The Dallas luxury retailer just unveiled its 100th anniversary Christmas catalog.
Yeah, it's full of over-the-top gifts like a $1.4 million submarine. We all need one of those. A $73,000 diamond-encrusted cell phone and so much more. But not everything is high price. You can find some items as little as $25, and they're called pencils. I just made that up. I don't know. I haven't seen the catalog, but I think that's right.
A submarine.
Yeah, why not? We all need one, don't we?
Sure, why not?
Might not fit in the
That's your
bathtub.
Christmas gift this year.
Well, thank you already.
Thanks for joining us, everybody.
Remember, Channel 6 News always on at KAUZ.com. We'll see you at 10.